Hey there, YouTube. At Beth and Bongs here. Thank you so much for joining me. I was, chilling, got home from work tonight, and I wanted to hang out with my fans. I don't have a lot of news stories I wanted to cover or anything. I might rant about some things with y'all, but that's about it. So chill and smoke. If anybody has any questions, feel free to ask me it in chat. I will respond. Let's maybe a little bit more juice. So I do want to say I recently broke my goal of achieving 100 subs. So I'm about 116 now. I just wanted to thank everybody out there for helping me with that. My next goal is 1,000 subs. Maybe I could even get a little money. Not that I really care about that part, but it would be a little bit of validation of what I do. I'm going to smoke on a little bit of flour now, a little bit of tenderoni. I'm going to light up some of the fruit punch incense first so I don't bother the neighbors with my smells. Oh, man. So I'm talking about. Oh, man. It's good stuff there. But yeah, this next paycheck, I'm thinking about finally getting me a green screen. So I have some more interesting things going on behind me. I'm pretty psyched for that. I think that'll improve the channel a little bit. But I have something a little bit more than Mr. Belushi over here staring at me like an idiot the entire time. Oh, man. Let's go from the club to the nectar collector. One moment. Oh, man. That was woozy. I'm going to share this stream around a little bit. I'm going to dim the lights a little bit. That doesn't look too bad. Fuck. Turn the music down a little bit. So how's everybody doing? I know my life has been taking some interesting turns as of late. I don't talk about my family growing up very much, and I don't particularly talk about my mom. Shortly, I left the house when I was 18. Me and my mom didn't really get along. There was a falling out, and she went through some stuff. Not going to talk about a lot of it on air, just for privacy reasons on her behalf. But I haven't spoken to her in 8-9 years, and she's gonna be coming by in the next couple of weeks to Tucson. She's coming back to town, and she's gonna be visiting her granddaughter, who she's never met, and my wife and her stepkids, meeting them all for the first time. So it's going to be a very unique time. And I ain't going to lie to you, I am very anxious about it. But we'll see. Maybe it'll be a very positive thing. It's kind of cute. My mom, she had nothing but boys. She had always wanted a daughter. Never worked out, but she's got some granddaughters. I don't know if my brother will want to speak to her, but I'm going to try and arrange something. So, we'll see. But me and Maria are doing well. We both kind of feel like we need a vacation. We both work entirely too much, but you gotta do what you gotta do. It's America, right? Who knows if this whole YouTube thing takes off, maybe I won't have to work quite so much. I did mention earlier I might be getting a green screen, which I think will help. Might bump things up a notch. Bam! So I'm Chef Elzar up in this bitch. I am going to smoke more. And then that friend of mine who passed away, his funeral is going to be coming up in a couple of weeks here as well. I feel like I'm probably going to have to work to cover it. Because, of course, he has family that also worked at the same company that we all worked at. So, I don't think I'll be able to go to his service, unfortunately. But if I can, I will. And either way, I'm going to make a stop by his grave or wherever the family has set up. I would like to make some sort of farewell. It's something I really haven't gotten a lot of closure on, to be honest with you. It's kind of amazing. Like, I only knew him for a couple years, but he was a great dude, and I do miss him a lot. So yeah, a lot of big things happening over here. Let's see here. I think I'm going to take a dab, and we're gonna move on to some colorful stories. I'm gonna go look on some Drudge Report, some other news websites, and see what we can dig up. I saw something interesting about Joe Biden's dog going haywire and attacking security officials. So, that sounds fun. Let's take another dab. was a good one. So we all know, because Trump wasn't a huge pet or animal lover, Joe Biden does have two pets. He has two German Shepherds. Major, the younger one, who's the same dog that was responsible for breaking Joe Biden's leg a few months back. And the older German Shepherd, his name is escaping me at the moment. Let's go ahead and click on the story. Looks like both German Shepherds have been sent back to Joe Biden's home in Delaware because they attacked one of the security officials. This is by Kate Bennett of CNN. Biden's German Shepherd has aggressive incident and is sent back to Delaware. The two German Shepherds belonging to President Joe Biden and First Lady Jill Biden were returned to the Biden family home in Delaware last week after aggressive behavior at the White House involving Major Biden, two sources with knowledge tell CNN. Major was adopted by Biden in November 2018 from a Delaware animal shelter. Had one of the people described as a biting incident with a member of White House security. The exact condition of the victim is unknown. However, the episode was serious enough that the dogs were subsequently moved to Wilmington, Delaware, where they remain. On Tuesday, White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki confirmed Major caused an injury to an unnamed individual. Champ and Major are still getting acclimated and accustomed to their surroundings and new people. And on Monday, the first family's younger dog, Major, was surprised by an unfamiliar person and reacted in a way that resulted in a minor injury to the individual, said Psaki, who added the injury was handled by the White House medical unit. Major, who is 3 years old, is the younger of the two Biden dogs and has been known to display agitated behavior on multiple occasions, including jumping, barking, and charging at staff and security, according to the people CNN spoke with about the dog's demeanor at the White House. The older of Biden's German Shepherds, Champ, is approximately 13 and has slowed down physically due to his old age. We'll be playing that in a moment. We got Major. He's a rescue dog. We asked the vet, what can we do to keep Champ going? And he said, get him a young dog. They're buddies. Biden told the media on Valentine's Day while walking the two German Shepherds around the North Lawn. Champ and Major moved to the White House in January, less than a week after Biden's inauguration. We began obsessed with getting our dog settled because we have an old dog and a very young dog, Joe Biden told Kelly Clarkson last month. Blah, blah, blah. So yeah, it sounds like they really love the dog. Basically, he's a rescue dog, Major. And he's a little jumpy. And he freaks out on people a little bit. Doesn't seem like that huge a deal. It sucks that he injured that guy. If it's really bad, then maybe it should stay home. Unfortunately, but there's just a little wound on his hand or something, the security dude will be fine. Let's see here. Oh God, this is just more of what we need. I'm so sick of hearing about this shit. This is from The Sun, written by Sarah Grillish. Peter Pan is the title. Disney Plus pulls iconic movies Dumbo, The Aristocats, and Peter Pan from kids section for racist stereotypes. Dumbo, they explain that the Crows and musical number pay homage to racist minstrel shows, where White House performers with blackened faces and tattered clothing imitated and ridiculed enslaved Africans on southern plains. The leader of the group in Dumbo is Jim Crow. This goddamn ad. Hold on, I'm so sorry. Eat a dick ad. Pay homage to racist minstrel shows where white performers with blackened faces and tattered clothing imitated and ridiculed enslaved African southern plantations. The leader of the group in Dumbo is Jim Crow, which shares the name of laws that enforce racial segregation in the southern United States. For Peter Pan, they say that the film portrays Native people in a stereotypical manner that reflects neither the diversity of Native peoples nor their authentic cultural traditions. For Aristocats, the Siamese cat Shungan is a racist caricature of East Asian peoples with exaggerated stereotypical traits such as slanted eyes and buck teeth. So adults will still be able to watch the shit. It's just not going to be there for small children to watch. See, a lot of these things where this anti PC crowd tries to get outraged by everything. It's like this shit with Pepe Le Pew. It's like, oh, why would you still want to watch cartoons to young children about a rapist skunk? What are you, some sort of lefty hippie weirdo that you don't want to promote skunk rapists within, small children's minds? Instill with them that it's okay to be a creepy fucking skunk. Seems like common sense to me. And the fact that Dr. Seuss wants to, the production company, the publication company wants to stop producing 6 of the books upon their own accord. No one was really calling for it. They just did it. That's not really censorship or PC or anything. They just chose to stop making those books. What would you force them to keep watching those books? To keep reading those books? They were like kind of racist, and they stopped producing them. It's not that big a deal. I wouldn't force them to do it. It just seems like selective PC outrage. And it's funny because it's coming from the right wing. To the same people who wanted to ban Harry Potter because they marketed witchcraft towards children. They're just as ridiculous. So, excuse me if I'm a little skeptical of the intention. A lot of people are talking about that royal family debacle. It seems like the royal family was kind of weird and racist to Meghan Markle, and there were fears that she was going to give birth to a black baby or something. And then Pierce Morgan got really pissed off because he got called out for shitting all over Meghan Markle all the time, I guess. I don't know. I don't really care about that kind of thing. But as I'm scrolling here, I feel like I should probably mention it. Congress set to approve the COVID bailout, which I'm pretty happy about. Let me know in the comments what you're going to do with your COVID money. By the way, to anyone watching, if you leave a question or a comment, I will do my best to answer. Meteor explodes over Vermont? What? Meteor explodes over Vermont with the force of 440 pounds of TNT. It was the size of a bowling ball, but exploded like 440 pounds of TNT. Meteor struck through the night sky over Vermont on Sunday, March 7th, creating a spectacular light show and causing earth-shaking booms as it burned through the atmosphere. The meteor's explosive passage through the atmosphere released the equivalent of 440 pounds of TNT, suggesting that the meteor was likely 10 pounds and 6 inches diameter, according to NASA Meteor Watch. Space rock smacked in the atmosphere at about 42,000 miles per hour, according to NASA. It appeared over the northern part of the state as a bright fireball at 5:38, just before sunset. Local news station WCAX3 reported calls from all over the state after the event, with Vermonters describing a loud boom and body-rattling vibration as the meteor passed overhead. I was fortunate enough to hear and see it by the Missisquoi River at the Missisquoi Wildlife Refuge in Swanton, Vermont, just before sunset, wrote Chris Roddick, a commenter in NASA's initial post about the event. No loud boom as reported by others, but a rushing sound that made me look up at just the right moment. It was extremely bright and absolutely spectacular. Based on eyewitness accounts, NASA estimates the fireball first appeared 52 miles over Mount Mansfield State Forest, just east of Burlington, the state's largest city. It then progressed 33 miles northeast towards the Canadian border, disappearing 33 miles above the ground south of the town of Newport. According to NASA, the shock wave was a result of a meteor fracturing due to atmospheric pressure. As the bowling ball-sized chunk of a larger parent asteroid moved at nearly 55 times the time of speed of sound through the atmosphere, pressure built up in front of it and a vacuum formed behind it. Eventually, the stress of that differential caused the rock to explode. People claim to have seen the rock from as far west as Saratoga, as far north as Quebec, and as far east as Watertown, Massachusetts. Just sad because it's funny because they said it wasn't far from Burlington. Was it a socialist meteor here to spread their radical ideas, trying to force Medicare for all on us with their alien subterfuge? Sorry, it's passed out for a moment. This is funny. 42% of people now consider themselves germaphobes because of the pandemic. New survey shows average adults washes their hand. They wash their. New survey shows average adult washes their hand 9 times daily, though nearly 1 in 5 admit to scrubbing their digits 15 times a day. Nearly half of Americans feel that no matter how often they wash their hands, it's never enough for COVID-19, according to a new survey. Despite the results, however, researchers find constantly stressing over safety is getting old fast as the world enters year two of the pandemic. The poll asked 2,000 Americans to reflect on the past 12 months to analyze their hygiene habits. Even though 90% of respondents say they're aware of the CDC's guidance on hand washing for 20 seconds, 41% admit it's starting to get tiresome. Conducted by one poll on behalf of American Water, the survey analyzed how respondents are practicing hygiene as quarantines, lockdowns, and social distancing drags into 2021. 2020, Americans turned Americans into germaphobes. Came as no surprise that the pandemic is a frustrating subject for 3/4 of respondents. More specifically, 65% have had it with people not taking the crisis seriously enough so it can end. 42% of the survey now describe themselves as a germaphobe because of the pandemic. Of these respondents, 79% agree that the change isn't necessarily a bad thing. So that's interesting. So 42%, 79, that's 37%. So 30% of the people who don't consider themselves germaphobes think it's probably a good thing to be a germaphobe, more or less. It's an conclusion that I'm coming to. The top habit respondents are doing a safe space, including carrying hand sanitizer at all times, immediately washing their hands at a full 20 seconds after being outside, and avoid contact with public surfaces at all costs, with frequent hand washing being a key part of fighting COVID 19. The survey also looked at how frequently people are doing this. Researchers discovered the average American washes their hands nine times a day. Nearly 1 in 5, 18%, wash upwards of 15 times a day. We know that water plays an essential role in people's daily lives, and as increased hand washing regimens help to prevent the spread of the virus. We want to better understand how consumers' awareness of their reliance on water may have changed, said Ruben Rodriguez, Senior Director of External Communications for American Water, in a statement. Although 65% of respondents said their hygiene habits have improved over the past year, 42% admit to letting things slide over the last few months. The top habit respondents are less inclined to do today compared to March 2020 are immediately changing out their clothes and washing them after being outside. Respondents are also less likely to sanitize all groceries and mail now. Additionally, 1 in 5 respondents admit that they don't wash their hands an average of 5 times a day or more, even though they know they probably should. Trumpies. Most likely. Sorry, I don't mean to generalize. Well, thank you all for joining me. I am getting quite tired. So I'm going to take one more dab. And I bid you a good night.